Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Advanced Technology by Rana. In the previous session, I have created the infrastructure diagram where I place the network switches and Palo Alto firewall with the router and the wireless controller. And in today's session, I'm going to start the implementation based on my infrastructure design. And this design basically is the complete infrastructure with all the elements which is normally we needed in the network design. And I will share my diagram, and I will start configuring from my DMZ network first. If you remember, I have two network, one as DMZ and one as inside network. So in today's session, I'm going to do the connectivity on the DMZ network switches, which is including with the aggregation switch, if you can see on my screen. And then I have three access switches. So I will configure back-to-back connectivity, and then we will do the configuration on the right hand side, which is my inside zone. Okay, so let's start our lab for today, and we will see how I will configure the network infrastructure. I will make it zoom. Okay, I believe it will cover this one. Okay, so I'm going to configure the aggregation switch first. The first thing, I will configure the name for my switch, and then I will configure the VLANs, and then I will configure the SVIs for the available VLAN, because my gateway for my access switches and my wireless controller and access point will be on my aggregation switch. And then I will put the default gateway, and I will do the trunking configuration on the uplinks between my aggregation switch and between my access switches. I'll give it host name AGG switch, and then I'll put the VLAN 240, and I'll give the name management VLAN. Naming is very important, so always keep the name for your VLANs and your interfaces as well, that your interfaces are connected with which device, especially when you are configuring back to back, because in the later stage you will never remember what VLAN you have configured and what is the purpose of the VLAN, and same thing for the interfaces. So don't forget to give the name for the VLANs and the interface description with back to back connectivity. Next VLAN 168, name Wi-Fi. Now I will create the interface VLAN 240, IP address 10.2.20.240.250. So my management IP for aggregation switch, which will be 10.2.20.240.250. I'll make it no shut. Next, I'll go for the wireless interface VLAN 168, 192.168.10.250. Show IP interface brief, exclude MSI. Okay. So my VLANs are created 168 and 250. This is my VLAN. Okay. So now in the next part, I will do uplinks connectivity for my wireless and my access switches. Show run interface gigabit 101. Interface gigabit 101 description connected to WLC. Okay. Switch port mode trunk, switch port trunk allowed, VLAN all. No shut. Same thing for 102. Description connected to switch 1F. Okay, let me show you here the description. Yes. So this is my 1F switch. So I put switch 1F. Switch port mode, trunk, switch port, trunk allowed, VLAN all, no shut. Next interface is 103. I'll give the description. Connected to switch MZ. Okay. Switch port mode trunk VLAN all, no shut. Okay. Let me check the configuration now. 103. Okay. So my 101 is done. 102 is done. 103 is done. So remaining is 104. Description. Connected to switch 2F. Okay. So this is my switch 2F. Switch port mode trunk, switch port trunk allowed, VLAN all, no shut. So my aggregation switch configuration is completed now. Show IP interface brief, exclude unassign. Okay, so this is done now. Let's come to the next switch, which is my 1F. So I will do the same configuration what I have done on the aggregation side. So same thing I will do first the host name. I'll put it access switch 1F. Okay. Then make the VLAN. For here, I will just create the SVI for the management of my for the switches. Okay, I will not give the VLAN for my Wi-Fi. This will only stay on my aggregation switch. Here only the device management IP 240. Ten to 20 to 40.249. My aggregation is 250. No shut. Okay. Now I'll put the configuration of back to back 1024. Switch port mode trunk, allowed VLAN on. Description, I will say connected to AGG switch. No shut. Let me review the configuration. Show run interface gigabit 1020. Okay. Show IP interface brief, exclude unassign. Show VLAN 168. Now one more command I have to define, because this is my layer 2 switches for 1F. I will just provide the IP default gateway to send traffic to my aggregation for the management. The command is IP default gateway 10 to 20 to 40.250. I can do one thing more here. I can give the default gateway for my Palo Alto firewall as well, because my actual gateway is created on the Palo Alto as 10.2.20.240.1. But since I have configured the gateway on the switch as well, so it does not matter either I will give the IP default gateway or for my aggregation switch or my Palo Alto switch. Both will work fine because on the aggregation I will also put the IP route command to the Palo Alto firewall. Now I will do one thing. I will do the physical connectivity for my aggregation switch with my first 1F switch. So I will take the cable. So 102 will connect with my second port 1024. Okay. So my 102 interface is come up. Now I will try to ping it 10 192 1 sorry 10.220 240.249. Sorry, I put the wrong IP. Okay. Same thing do I will from this side. From 1F, show IP, interface brief. I'll make it ping with 240. Okay, I'm able to ping now. Now I'll come back to my 2F switch, which is basically here, and I will configure this one. Same thing, I'll give the host name. MZ switch, VLAN 240, name management, VLAN 168, which is my wireless, VLAN, interface VLAN 240 for the management of this switch, 10.220 to 40.247. No shut. Okay. I'll give the description on this interface. Uplink connected to AGG switch. Okay. Switch port, mode trunk, switch port, trunk allowed, VLAN all, no shut. Okay. Let me check show run interface. Okay, I made the mistake. Sorry, I made the mistake. I have to configure 1024. Okay, on my 2F switch, but I configure 103. Actually, I just I was looking on aggregation switch, so I have to change this configuration now. Show run interface gigabit 103. I will replace with 1024. Okay, so I will just do copy and paste. I will select this one and I will just put this configuration here. Finish. No shut. I will do one thing. This 103, I will make it default. I will remove the configuration. So this will be automatically go to the default configuration. So the command is default interface gigabit 103. Simple. Okay, and then write memory. Okay, so show run interface gigabit 1024 of my this switch is connected with my aggregation. So I will do one thing. I will do the physical connectivity with the cable. I'll connect with the 103 for my aggregation with 1024 of my MZ switch. And you will see as soon as I will connect it, it will come up. The link will become up. Okay. Sorry, 24. Okay. So my VLAN 24 is come up. Okay. So show IP interface brief, exclude unassign. So my 247 come up. Another command, I will keep it IP default gateway to my aggregation switch, which is 250. And now I can ping my aggregation switch 10 to 20 to 40.250. Okay. I can check as repeat. So guys, we done the configuration successfully on the 2F switch. Same thing I will do quickly with my third switch, which is my 3F. Okay. So I will connect with my 3F switch. Host name AC switch 3F. Third floor. Okay. VLAN 240. VLAN 168. Management IP 247. So my IP is show IP interface brief 247. This is my 247. This is 248. This is 249, and this is 250. Okay. Show run interface gigabit. Let me configure the uplink 1024. Let me put the description first, which is very important. Connected to AGG switch. Okay. Switch port mode trunk, switch port trunk allowed, VLAN all, no shut. Okay. Now let me connect it. 104 of the aggregation we connect with 1020. So this is my switch aggregation. Connect with my 24 port for my 3F. Okay. So immediately my interface come up. Okay, it said there is some duplicate IP. It's mean I just put this IP on somewhere. I believe I put on the second F as well. So let me check this one. 247. Let me check where I put this IP. Yes, okay. So I have to put it 247, 248. Interface LAN 240, IP address 248. Okay. So guys, always be careful while giving the IP addresses on the network devices. If there is duplicate IP, first of all, the switches will immediately give you this information on this logging console. But somehow, if you disable the logging information, then the CLI will not provide you this information. So always make sure that there is no duplicate IP address. Otherwise, it will create a problem for you on the network side. So right now, I give the IP. Okay, so my IP is changed now. Let me ping it back, send to 20, to 40, to 50. Okay, so I'll connect to the 3F switch, show IP interface, brief, exclude MSI. Okay, let me ping it back, 10 to 20, to 40, to 50. Yes, show run section default gateway. Yes. Okay, I put the wrong default gateway also. IP default gateway 10, 220, 240, 250. Okay. Yes. So guys, finally, we done the configuration on my DMZ zone infrastructure switches successfully, and we did the test with the back-to-back ping connectivity. And during this configuration, I did the two mistakes as well, which is the common exercise in our infrastructure configuration. So you always do the mistake, but the thing which is important, you have to be very alert if you do the mistake, especially in the configuration of the IP addresses. And you see how I fix it. We have done our session for the DMZ zone infrastructure switches, and in the next session we will do the configuration on the inside switches zone, same as it is I did on my my DMZ switch. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed this video. Keep watching this channel, keep watching the next upcoming video, which is the configuration on my inside switch zone side. Once I will do the inside zone, then we will do the configuration. I will show you what will be our next after the inside zone. I will do the configuration on my router side, router along with the Palo Alto. Okay, and then we will do the physical connectivity on the Palo Alto, and then we will continue with our configuration. So keep in touch. Don't forget to subscribe and like this channel, and stay tuned, and you will find me very soon with another video in the upcoming session. Take care. Allah Hafiz. Bye bye.